Bonsoir, Jack, Professor Ida Robinson, Professor Krantz, Monsieur le Consul Général d'Israël, esteemed former Justice Minister Erwin Cotler, Anthony Housefather, Dita Burko, Councillor for Côte-Saint-Luc, esteemed journalist Barbara Kay. I'm really pleased to be here again to validate my long-time relationship and support for this tremendous organization. Which reminds me, when we speak about the scourges of this most resistant, impervious, and evolving form of hate, of the quote of Martin Luther King Jr., and I hope I'm pretty close to it, that you cannot combat darkness with darkness, only light can do that. And I think it's important for us to remember that when you're talking about this hopelessly persistent form of hate, the powers that must be brought to bear to stop it, which we haven't done in 4,000 years, so I guess to limit it, have to be equally multifaceted. And I won't pretend to have the kind of expertise that some of the people in this room do, or that our keynote speaker would have. But to me, it's worth remembering that that multifaceted approach must be characterized in all its diversity by light. If I look at what Fred and Jack and your organization have brought to this battle for now 31 years, it's not a lot of heat and anger. It's lucid and smart and compassionate and human arguments based on data, based on realities, based on solid and immutable principles of justice. So that's one pillar. There are other organizations in the community that are absolutely vigilant, and I was Executive Director of Canadian Jewish Congress, Quebec Region, for a number of years, and I hope we were too, but calling out every incident. But let me just modestly offer what I hope small contribution I've been able to make, and those of us in the Jewish community who are out there in the rest of the world can make. Because when you're part of a minority, you very sadly, because it's not fair, you're an ambassador every minute of every day. I don't wear the kippah. I'm so proud of who I am. I happen to be secular in my life. But I'm the only one of 125 legislators in Quebec City right now. And when I make a joke, when I speak about an issue about les disparités entre les régions, quand j'interviens sur une question sur l'avenir des hebdos en région, the contribution I make is filtered. This is human nature. By my 124 colleagues in the National Assembly as a contribution made by a Jewish Quebecer. And they bring to that all of the occasionally good, but very often bad baggage they have with respect to their perceptions of who we are as the Jewish people. But I guess I would just urge us always to remember that this job is so multifaceted. It doesn't start at 1 hour in the morning and end at another. It's part of who we are as Jews. We, most of us, with great pride and passion, I hope, wear that badge with us everywhere we go. And then we get to work. And I guess I'll share with you that my own perspective, and again, I think there's room on the spectrum because the problem is so big for all kinds of perspectives. I don't spend my days looking for incidents and then saying, gotcha. I spend my days looking at two things. One, shame on you if in your heart you have something against me because of the 4,000-year-old people that I'm part of. That belongs to you. In an ideal world, I hope that will change. I'm sorry, I don't really care. The second you open up your mouth and give action to those beliefs by telling Jordan Wright, Vice President, I think, at the McGill Student Society, who had the temerity to visit Israel recently, that when she gets back, there's going to be a vote to remove her from McGill student government? Well then, believe me, I'm all in, and I just wrote her today. And I can't imagine, but if there's anything I can do to help in that fight, I'll do it. But our battle to end this scourge is multifaceted. I feel, I didn't get elected as a Jewish Quebecer. It's part of who I am. I'm deeply proud to be one of only 125 people who set laws in Quebec as we speak right now. And just by doing that, as a Jew, and there's so many other examples of those of us who are out there in the world, we're, I believe, contributing to the fight against anti-Semitism. Because part of what we're doing, I think, and it's absolutely, I hope, complementary to what CIJR does with such talent, is we're saying that it's our job to help heal the world. Not just to heal our corner of the world, it's our job to help heal the world. And isn't that part of what fighting anti-Semitism is? So I think we each have our role, and let's hope that in respecting and devoting ourselves to that role, that those who come after us 4,000 years from now will no longer be talking about this as a terrible scourge that it remains today. Thank you.